especially got to give a shout out to them. I think they came out here and did the right way. Sometimes you get in these situations, joint practices, and it's ill intent, like they're not trying to get good work. So shout out to the coaches over there, the leaders over there, and I think we got better from it. And we get to go back and watch film and improve off of it.
Saquon, you answered so many questions this offseason about how your body would feel coming off the touches from last year. I know we're not in season yet, but you're out here pretty much every day, touching it a ton. Like, do you feel the impact of last year, or are you maybe surprised at how little you don't?
No, you don't feel the impact of last year. I think you just feel camp. That's kind of how camp's supposed to be. You get your bumps and your bruises. You got to work through some things. It's supposed to be hard. Football's supposed to be hard. It helps get your body in condition for the season, kind of callous your body up. But I feel really good, and for me, it's just all about sticking to the plan that my team and the team here built, and just following it.
With Will Shipley, what did you see with him in joint practice?
I love Will. You won't ever catch me having said anything negative about Will Shipley. Just his preparation, the way he worked. My favorite thing about him, which people can't really see, he's super competitive. So keeps me young. Let's say that, I guess.
We've been around each other for a year now. Just how is the chemistry and relationship evolving with you and Jalen Hurts?
It's improving. We had a great relationship last year, but just knowing each other longer, experience stuff that we experienced last year, training with each other for a whole year, just helpful. And two big leaders on the team, and it's important for us to have a good relationship, and it's only going to help the team in the future.
Since you guys aren't necessarily going in, playing in preseason games, how fun is it, or how difficult is it to go up against a guy like Myles Garrett, to see him, and how beneficial is that to the offense overall?
I don't know if playing in preseason games or not, is playing in preseason games going to help you against a guy like Myles Garrett. It's fun though. You get to see him, how he works, and his craft. Obviously, he's blessed. God definitely blessed that guy over there. But you admire his work ethic too. And when you're going against somebody like that, it only gets you better. So I think our guys are doing a really good job against him, and I think we got great work this week.
What equips Will as a pass catcher?
He got great hands. I think he's probably the best route runner out of all the running backs on our team. And he has a great feel for seeing coverages too. So probably sure that stems from the stuff he did in college, but it's definitely something that can help take the team to another level.
What's it really taking to see Landon after
I think everybody is excited to see Landon. When you see a guy like that, how much he means to the team go down, your heart definitely stops. But it seems like everything's going to be okay. But the beauty with Landon, you kind of got to tell him to slow down rather than get going. So it's good to see him out here, but at the same time, you need to be smart and take his time.
What's your second year in this organization, in this system? Is it another part of being comfortable the second year? Is it a lot easier for you coming into camp and just all the weeks?
I think it's just more going to year 8, knowing what I need, knowing my body needs. It definitely helps having another year within in this organization, in this building, just being familiar with everybody. Stuff that I got into my routine later on in the off season or in the season, it's already part of my routine now. So it's just helpful. Training staff to nutrition to strength coaches to the coaches. All of them helping me improve every single day. That all just gets better naturally when you're here longer.
There's still 3 weeks to go with the season, but with the reps that how would that cohesiveness in the rhythm of the offense come opening night?
A.J. Brown. I mean, obviously, we'd love for him to be out there, but that's football. Things happen. But if there's anybody in the world I'm not really concerned about, it's that guy. He's pretty good at doing his job and getting open. So.
Saquon, what was it like watching AJ much run over people these past few days?
Now I'm about to say. Now I'm confused. Yeah, I think it's been impressive. Just to see how massive of a human being he is, and how well he moves. To me, it's not him running over guys. You kind of know he can do that, but just the way he's able to get in and out of his cuts, especially in tight spaces. But being familiar with him and seeing his game in BC and in Green Bay, just going to definitely add another element to the running back room.
We'll do a couple more.
Say you have a day like today when you aren't participating in team drills. Like, what are you paying attention to? What are you trying to accomplish yourself in this situation?
First, making sure I get the call so I can envision what I would do, and then just really watching the running backs to be able to coach them up. Just because you're not taking the physical reps, it's important to take the mental reps. I'm also still trying to be vocal and active on the sideline because that juice and energy is still needed. But I think we did a great job today. I think the backs did a great job today too. When you have joint practice like this against another team, and you got two teams come out here really trying to practice and work together, you get a lot of good work out of it, and I think that happens this week.
Saquon, what's the if you look at the Madden video game this year, how is it? What's your view on it?
I think the Madden game is amazing. I think Madden did an amazing job. It is a little cooler when it's you on the cover, to be honest. Sadly, when I'm in camp, I don't get to play it too much. But we'll have a couple of days off coming up soon that I'll be able to play a little bit.
Big Fangio, such a good coach.
I think it's just because he's old school, and we got that old school mindset with everything.
What does that mean? What does
hard practice, running, conditioning. You don't like with just helmets. He'd rather do pass probably every day or something like that. Yeah.
How about from a teaching standpoint? What is about the fundamentals?
Old school teaching, everything, all that.
How much fun is it for you playing alongside Jordan Davis right now? He's obviously in better shape. He's going to get more snaps. You guys obviously have a long background together.
That's good, man. You see him looking better again, slim, pass rush looking good, man. He's about to be first, second, third down player right there.
Did you think he had it in him to be an all-down player the time you've been around him?
Hell yeah, always. Got some sacks in college, and obviously seen him get sack in NFL, so he's capable of it, and just got to be more consistent and put that in his bag, I guess.
Where do you feel like trick play that they ran? They had this screen down the left side there.
Yeah, they ran two. You talking about the throwback screen?
Yeah.
I just knew it was coming. Oh, you talking about like the goal line where he caught it and tossed it back?
That little throwback where he had like the caravan.
I knew it was coming. Like as soon as I see him catch it, he wasn't even trying to go for it. I was like, it's a throwback. They got it. That's a good play in their books, and I think they scored off that or something like that. Yeah.
Where do you compare yourself from this year at this time from last year? How much further along do you think you are? Obviously, you have last year under your belt, that experience, and you're trending up. Just how do you feel at this time compared to last year?
I really don't know. I don't really think about last year. Just like how when I'm done with this and I gotta wake up tomorrow morning, I don't think about what I did yesterday. Right. Every day is a day just to get better and work on my craft.
Jalen, you and Jordan talked a little bit during the offseason about the need to now be the leaders, even though you guys are both still pretty young. How have you found yourself growing in that leadership role?
Well, just me and him have the most experience with each other playing together, and we played with Mo and stuff. Had a year with them and here, Byron Young and Gabe and stuff like that. But still, at the end of the day, me and him got the most connection. We know each other the most, so just me and him talking and just putting the guys with us, bringing in that connection and that positivity. And I think that's just all we need right there, and then everything else will flow in.
Do you feel more comfortable being, one of the louder voices back there?
It's whatever. Like even if I was the quiet one, I'm still find a way to get the team, lit and ready to play.
What do you think of that next group, BY and Ty Robinson, just those young guys?
I think they, in the preseason it's showing. Them boys getting some moves off. Gabe, the last preseason game had a couple good third down moves and pass rushes, and we just seen all their bags open up, and they starting to see things we're doing and add it to their bag and showing it in the preseason game.
Talking about Jordan, where do you feel like, in terms of his passes, where do you feel like he's growing the most?
Just finishing on the moves. It's one thing to just throw a move, but it's another thing to just throw it with a sense of urgency and a rip and stuff like that. So that's what I'm seeing. Just making a rush upfield, not at the line and stuff like that.
And do you think that's just reps and you get more comfortable, or is this something clicked?
Reps, conditioning, just pretty much everything. That's it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Just competing out here playing ball. Meeting a lot of great group of guys. And like I said, man, just competing and trying to better each other each and every day that we out here. So.
You feel like you got better these last 2 days?
Definitely. Just sharpening up on the details and really just the scheme. Just digging deep into my playbook and just having a a great performance out here.
There was a play yesterday where it looked like Bobby King had some corrections for you after one of their touchdowns. What are some of the things that you're working on most right now that's coming at you maybe a little fast?
Yeah, I mean, just always just sharpening up my style of game, the details, and what our scheme is, and just really understanding what's the role that I'm playing. You know what I'm saying, and really, like I said, man, just sharpening that up each and every day, and not giving up, and just giving 110% every time.
You were talking the other day with Myles Garrett after practice.
Yeah.
What was that like? What kind of things was he telling you?
Really just two freaks, talking to each other. He's a great guy, man. We're in the same agency together, so it was a good, little mojo. Just catching up with each other, and just talking about habits. Finding the routine, especially me coming in as a rookie, and just honing on who I am as a person, just being who I am, and always staying that way and just working hard.
Is he a guy you looked up to?
Say it again?
Is he a guy you looked up to?
Definitely. I mean, one of the guys for sure. Just work ethic, and I mean, everybody sees his game, right? He's a freak, like I said. He's one of the best to do it, and he's still doing it. So.
What has Vic done to bring out the best in you? What has he identified in your game to put you in those positions to make plays?
Just the small details, like running to the ball, getting a hook drop, and still visualizing other things to make the play. You know what I'm saying? So overall, just being a playmaker, understanding what that is, and just simplifying it down each and every day.
Josh, do you feel like you're getting to the point where your athleticism is allowed to show because you understand what's going on the field?
I think the main thing for me out here is really just to get better and strive for perfection. We are not perfect as human beings in general, but it's great to put in our minds to before we come out here, thank God, and just strive for perfection each and every day we get out here. Just be around our peers and have those guys strive for more perfection. So we're all just being positive and being very humble.
One more question about Myles Garrett. How valuable is it to just have a sounding board like that as a young kid coming in and have an all-time great to just talk to?
I mean, it's definitely good, when you got a guy like Myles, come and talk to you and have some time. It was very honoring, for him to do that, and I really appreciate it.
Considering you're getting a lot of work with the ones, how much do you expect to play Saturday in the preseason?
Expect to play?
Do you expect to play Saturday?
I mean, I'm just being on my feet are, what I'm saying? Just day by day in practice, wanting to get better, have a want to win, have a want to just learn more and, just execute everything that I could do on the field.
If you're getting more edge rusher reps during practice or even these past few days against the Browns?
Like I said, man, I'm just sharpening up my toolbox, what I'm saying? And anything that I can do in my athletic ability tool, whether that's being a pass rusher, that's being in the box, or, just making plays in general, anything that helps the team. I think that's the biggest goal.
You mentioned striving for perfection. What does your self-evaluation process look like? I mean, specifically in training camp the last few weeks, how have you evaluated things?
I mean, just my habits, what I'm saying? Just, confidence builds character, character builds confidence. So, the more outside the building, I do what I'm supposed to do on my day-to-day basis, my routine, my habits. I come out here and I'm way more confident, each and every day, to execute my job and, to be around the guys and be more vocal and be a leader.
What's done behind the scenes to build a connection with Saquon when you guys aren't on the field? What's done behind the scenes to build a connection with Saquon, chemistry with Saquon, when he's obviously not on the field?
I mean, Zach, he's a big bro to me, what I'm saying? So just finding ways to better each other at any given moment. Like, we'll be walking and, just stop and talk just about like a certain play or different details or, just little like tweaks of how he made plays and, just altering into my game and how I can make a play and how he sees things differently, and really, I mean, other than that, just, watching film and, always just getting back to the board to get sharp.
How's it going?
Doing good. Training camp in, what month is it? August.
Kind of a unique question. So when I was watching back at like the director cut from the Super Bowl, it showed a lot of clips of you throughout the whole postseason, actually, of you getting in Jalen's ear after he made a big play, hyping him up, telling him you're that guy. Just from your point of view, how has he evolved as a leader, and just how has your guys' relationship evolved? Have you guys become more than teammates, brothers, friends?
I I mean, it's as cliche as that, left tackle and quarterback relationship is. I think it's more than the cliche. It's just what the relationship we've had off field ever since he's stepped into the building in 2020. Just a natural, easygoing, friendship, and it's that brotherhood has transferred onto the field real easy, real quick. The more reps that we've had, and I think just all the years that we've had together, just the ups and downs that we faced as a team, as a unit, it just brings you closer. And so, his development as a leader, he doesn't need me. In all honesty, he doesn't need me. I just like, gassing him up sometimes when I feel like he's cooking.
Jordan, how do you feel after watching the film of yesterday's practice? How do you feel like the offense performed?
Could be better. What do you think? What do you guys think? You guys always have something to say, right?
Today, you guys see the film, but yesterday after watching it, especially I guess specifically the O-line, obviously you had a lot of moving parts in there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that affected your performance?
We pride ourselves on the plug and play, and we just weren't good enough yesterday. Just from a conditioning standpoint, maybe from a execution standpoint as well. I did think that we did really, really good things in the run game. That is very evident. The film don't lie there. But in the pass game, certainly could be a lot better, a bit more firmer up there on the blind side. And I think we were a bit leaky sometimes. But, yeah, we could definitely be a lot better.
How much you get out of working against Myles Garrett? How do you feel like that went today?
Any time you get an opportunity to go up against the best, he truly is the best at that position. It's just that you got to take advantage of those opportunities. They, especially if it's a training rep, So I think it's gotten me better. I have a lot of film to go off now and watch and see how I can, again, refine and sharpen and learn from yesterday and today. And, good for me.
How does it feel to see Landon? We find out here today, a day after surgery, and
laughing.
Sunday night.
Yeah, it was pretty scary. I was very happy to see him this morning when he walked into the locker room. I was kind of shocked that he was walking. So, just very happy to see his bubbly face in the building and his energy. And glad everything's going okay.
Helplessness gets described often in football, but it seems you guys use it differently with Landon. What about him is, I guess, stands out in terms of his toughness?
In terms of his toughness? I think that guy's just made of rubber. Man, he's just made of rubber. It doesn't matter what injury he's going through during the game. He's just going to keep pushing through, and it's inspiring. It's very inspiring because then I hurt a finger or I hurt a toe, and I'm just like, that hurts. And he's playing out there with one leg, one knee, and he's just like, all right, you got to toughen up. And man, it's just, I don't know what it is. Something different about him, the mentality, just to go out there and lay it all.
Sorry. Speaking of which, it looked like you were dealing with some things yesterday. You were down. What was that?
I think we all at this point in camp, we're all just carrying injuries. It's been a very physical camp. It was nice to see some fresh faces this week and some new looks. But I'm not the only one that's going through camp carrying still little nags and little injuries here and there. That's when you got to sacrifice that free time to be doing rehab or treatment to be able to come back out in the paddock and keep pushing. Anything else?
Do you get the sense that Tyler Stevens getting more comfortable, and if so, how have you seen that?
I think Tyler's always been a confident guy, but you can definitely see his growth in that position at right guard. The more reps that you can get, I know from speaking experience from my right side stint in 2019, the more reps I got, the more comfortable I got. So now it's just all about getting the fundamentals of the playbook down pat so he can play free. I think he's getting a lot more comfortable, and he's done a fantastic job thus far. But like I've said, we're always in the business of improvement, and so we're going to watch that film tonight with a keen eye and see how we can improve.
What's the process like with reviewing, not just Myles, but any pass rusher and applying that to the next, because each rusher is different?
There's no one like Myles, so you can't apply what Myles does to anyone else because he's just a freak. He's a freak.
Yeah, no, but what do you gain personally out of watching those reps?
I get a giggle. I get a giggle out of it. I'll be honest. I'm just sitting there like, what the? I did my fucking job. Oh, sorry. I did my job, and yet I still got beat. How is that even possible? How is he still at below my knees and he's bending the corner? He starts the rush, in a 4-point stance, and by the time he's 4 yards upfield, he's still at that same height. And it's kind of like, oh, what am I supposed to do there? Just jump on him? Not even that's possible. Who just carry me to the QB? Guy's a freak. But like I said, man, when you go up against the best, so that's enough glazing for now. Sorry, guys. When you go up against the best, you're able to, learn from the next rep. And it was kind of just like this lose, win, lose, 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 win, lose, 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 win. As just how it felt like. And, I just kept on saying, keep it pushing to the next play and keep trying to just do your job, and then we'll fix it up later.
Back to the point that you've been working through something at training camp physically. There's other veterans that have taken some days off or snaps off. And you're not one of those. Is that because you're declining it, or is it because you're not getting them, or what? Is it a mentality thing? What is it?
I can't answer that one. Not because I don't know I just don't know the answer.
I'll take two more. Picking a 4-point stance. Ogbo, what's it like going up against him?
Oh, well?
And how do you think he's performed?
Sorry, can you say the question again? Sorry.
Speaking of a 4-point stance,
yeah.
He'll rush a lot from that position. How's it been like going up against him? What does he bring to the pass rush?
Who are you talking about? I can't hear. Ogbo. Oh, Ogbo. Sorry. I thought that's what you said. Ogbo. I was like, who the hell is Ogbo? I don't even want to say it either. I think the knowledge that he has been probably the talks that we've had, just talking about what he's seen from when he was on other teams, about what we do, and how we can kind of protect ourselves from that. The knowledge has been the most impressive part about having him here. And then going out there, he's a guy who's not going to take a playoff ever. He doesn't take a playoff. So he's just, the first effort, the second effort, and the third effort. So if you're not conditioned to go first effort, second effort, or third effort with Obo, it's a wrap.
What about Brett getting those first team reps? How do you think he's handling that? How do you think he's handling the opportunity next year, Brett Jones?
Brett's capitalizing. Man, I mean, Brett gets a lot of hate, and I'm just, I just think for a guy who just comes in and just whatever they say, you're playing center, you're playing right guard, he just says yes sir, and he does everything he can to put us in the best position as a center, and then as a guard, he's again helping the Cam out, he's helping me out, and he does the best that he can to do the job that he's being asked to every day. And it's hard to go from center to guard, to tackle, to back to guard, then center. That's a tough life. And so I'm extremely proud of Brett. I do think he's taken advantage of this opportunity. He's trying to put out good film out there. He's done a good job. We've done a good job together the last 2 days. Not a great job. Again, a lot to clean up on from a communication and technique standpoint. But I definitely think in the run game we were pretty sound on some of those inside zone concepts and some of the outside zone too. So he's a very smart player, and I'd be ashamed. It'd be a shame if people don't appreciate him. Got one more.
Going back to Myles, a lot of the young guys like Jalen have had to spend some time around him, just like talking to him.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not going up against him like you are, but what do you hope that they get out of these last 2 practices, getting to spend some time?
What do I hope that Jalen and that get out of it? Probably the cues that he looks at tackles. Even just like in between plays, like he'll exchange like, "Why'd you do that?" And I'd be like, "Why'd you do that?" And we just go back and forth and give each other a little nod of like, "Okay, this is why. Okay, this is why I did that." And you talk after practice and you're just like, "Oh, okay, so we trade information about like what we're looking at, but just the P's and Q's of how tackles set, of like tendencies that they have, that they do, that can reveal something." And I think you can't mimic what Myles does. I mean, I sound like I'm just glazing this bloke. I mean, I'm just saying. This is just different. You can't imitate that. He's just one of one, that guy. And I think the most thing you can do is try to replicate it and then get your IQ up. So.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, guys.
You can leave now. Do you have one of Landon's beer?
No, wasn't invited.